How's it going, everybody? Welcome to a brand new episode of Crypto Clout. I am your host, FaZe Crypto. Today, we have to talk about Bitcoin, currently at $9,634 at the time of recording this video. And of course, we are going to be discussing Cardano. First article of the day I would like to talk about: could Silicon Valley soon embrace Cardano? So Cardano could be starting to look into high-tech capital, Silicon Valley. So Cardano could be starting to look at the big tech hub of the world, Silicon Valley. As revealed by the CEO and co-founder. So when we talk about this sort of thing, we need to think about, a few key issues, which of course is what is the dynamic between, what could Cardano solve that's a problem that's currently being faced by the Silicon Valley and a lot of these different aspects of how we see things developing. And I think from what we always talk about on here with Cardano, there's some key points that really Cardano could fill save a lot of money. I think that's the bottom line, is that Cardano could innovate, and it would be a pretty interesting thing to see. So this article goes in to talk about you need to teach people how to deploy solutions on our platform, and the burden is upon us to have great developer experience. So this would be interesting. This would be very bullish. If Silicon Valley chose Cardano, and I think that this is sort of writing on the wall. We could expect to see cryptocurrency sort of overlap with the technologies that are already out there. We see this happening, with the race of Facebook is sort of trying to get in on it. So that'll be interesting. We'll talk about that. Bitcoin drops below 9.5 as whale deposits 600 BTC to BitMEX. Very interesting always to see how people are willing to shift from bearish to bullish and bullish to bearish. Crypto exchange FCon insolvent after revealing up to 130 million Bitcoin shortfall. Most of all, an article that I wanted to talk about on here is let me see. Why Tron, XRP, and Cardano now 12% plunge in severe altcoin correction. And of course, we're seeing a correction across the board with Bitcoin. I was warning people out there that Bitcoin was priced. I think it was pretty hyped up. In pretty much every single video, I was trying to quell some of the excitement and give more of a realistic look. And I know that there were some people out there who didn't necessarily agree with me, but I've seen this happen. I've seen this same cycle play out so many times, and just the resistance at that $9,800 level, the even resistance at like the 10,500. That's just such a strong point of resistance for it to try and overcome. And I think that it makes sense that we saw the situation that just played out. Of course, if you're interested in technical analysis, make sure that you're subscribed to the channel so you can watch the live stream. But still, this doesn't distract me from the fact that crypto is becoming more popular with investors, Swiss investors. What this article talks about, millennials set the trend, and this is something that I do talk about from time to time. Is who's paying for their, who's using crypto for their retirement, and what this new generation of wealth. But what I want to talk about right here, 3 ways the light beer virus may have affected Bitcoin. Is there a correlation between Bitcoin's price action, of course, this is interesting because we always see this sort of trend happen when there's like a fear campaign on the media. Like Warren Buffett said, he wasn't wrong when he talked about Bitcoin as a store of fear, and it is a good measure of uncertainty and doubt. It will be interesting to see. And of course, I think as right now that news, regardless of what the actual situation is with the actual epidemic, the fact of the matter is that the news can only sort of play off of these campaigns for so long before they have to move on to something else, and the general public tends to lose interest. And I think the frenzy is dying down, and we are sort of falling off of the hype that we were seeing from the WW3 fear campaign that's pretty much come to a full close right now. But I want to talk about a topic that is interesting, which is the Fed. So I'm going to play this guy who's going to talk for 1 minute, and we're going to see it's probably one of the greatest arguments, I would say, for Bitcoin and cryptocurrency at large, which of course is intertwined with fiat, in the sort of abysmal pit of despair that is fiat itself, and sort of what we can expect to see. One of the greater arguments, I would say, for what we can expect to see, in terms of potential for Bitcoin. So without any further ado, let's watch this, then we'll get back to the analysis.
The Fed needs to do everything they can to continually increase asset prices, increase debt, and maintain confidence. But the only tools that they have to do that are artificially low interest rates and quantitative easing. This produces extreme wealth inequality because only a small portion of the population actually own the assets that the Fed is driving up in price. The rest of the population drown in a sea of debt: student loan debt, auto debt, consumption debt. It makes it impossible for them to save money. Because the Fed has distorted the real economy so much, it makes it impossible for them to attain what they need to actually get ahead.
So he definitely does have some pretty interesting points there. Let me know in the comments down below what you guys think. I think that is a pretty measured perspective. And it's one that we really can't overlook. But without any further ado, I think that it is interesting in the context of what Cardano can actually bring to the table in terms of true decentralization, and what we can expect to see happening. In terms of how we've been seeing a lot of the different developments in the crypto space, and this isn't even before we even have to talk about basic challenges to the true decentralization of Bitcoin, and essentially what we could see as far as potential altcoins leveling up and knocking Bitcoin off of its iron throne, which I would say is a more likely scenario than most people give credit to. What is really proprietary about Bitcoin? That's really one of the key questions. Is the perceived value going to be able to stand the test of time years down the line? I think that Bitcoin will always be worth something, but I would say that in a $1 trillion market cap for cryptocurrency, and where we see all these different moving parts, in particular the Silicon Valley dips their toes in. There's big money that's going to have big impact. And I would say a truly decentralized crypto would be a much more desirable sort in place of Bitcoin, but that's just me. IOHK opens research lab, University of Wyoming, which is pretty cool. But we'll see how things go. Of course, remember, this video is for entertainment, educational purposes only. I'm not your financial advisor. I'm not your dad. I'm only here giving you guys my opinion. And of course, make sure you do your own research, because this space is very volatile, and you could lose all your money. So make sure that you do your own research. It is interesting just to see how all these different global events, and I do, despite all my perspectives here, I do see a bright future for crypto in general. I am bullish on, crypto is one of the things that I'm very passionate about. But Bitcoin price rally over key 9.4 support zone holds for now. Bitcoin price was unable to hold the psychological barrier of 10,000 and couldn't break through the resistance of 10,400. This rejection caused a correction move to 9,450, leaving a $400 CME gap behind following Bitcoin's severe correction. Many altcoins also also retraced, and that's sort of the situation that we just discussed. So we'll see how things go, in the future. Then we'll keep you guys updated with daily cryptocurrency content. Make sure that you guys subscribe, comment down below, let us know what you're thinking, and I will see you guys in the next video. Have a good one and stay relevant.